Thanks for staying with us. Since crude oil was discovered in Nigeria in the late 50s, it has been recently dominated our economy to the point of 90% of our export revenue comes from crude oil. We have the largest oil and gas reserve in sub-Saharan Africa, yet for decades, the virtually ungovernable industry has been plagued with inept leadership. Joining us on the show is Honorable Musa Sarkin Adar, Chairman, House Committee Representative on Petroleum Resources Upstream. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to hear from you. So, the challenge with the Petroleum Industry Bill, which was first introduced in 2008, has been the fact that we've been unable to conclusively pass it. Each successive government have been working on it, they've documented it, they've shredded it, they've broken it into the PIG bill, you know, and yet we still don't have a comprehensive petroleum industry bill passed. What would you say has caused the delay so far?
The cause of delay, are you ready with me?
Yes, we are with you, sir.
I can hear you.
The cause of delay might be due to so many factors of various interests conflicting. Interest of the business people in the petroleum industry and the interest of some people within the government. Now, having said all this, we are where we are today. And the current government, from the executive to the legislature, we are all committed towards passing the petroleum industry bill so that the industry would be fully regulated under a law that is known by everybody and in a transparent manner. Are you with me?
Yes, we're with you, sir.
Yes, over the years, the petroleum industry has been governed by a very archaic, very outdated law. Remember, since 1963, when oil discovery and exploration started in Nigeria, there have been only one law known as Petroleum Act. Since then, there has not been any amendment to this act, and this season, major oil players in the oil industry, such as the IOCs, have been clamoring for a standard law that is in tune with the standard practice all over the globe. And since 2000, when the past PIB was presented to National Assembly, one reason or the other, one factor or the other kept on coming up, and as such, it was not passed. And even when it was broken into segments, when the government side was, the government sector was passed by the National Assembly, and it was taken to the presidency for signing, due to conflict of interest between the executive and the legislature, then it is not materialized. However, now we have one form of petroleum industry bill. It has come to the National Assembly, it has passed the first and second reading. It is now at the public hearing, and we have concluded the public hearing last week for the Senate and the House of Representatives. And immediately we resume, we'll continue, the ad hoc committee set off, will continue to work on it and compile a report which will be presented to the National Assembly, the two chambers, both the Senate and the House, and expectedly, before the end of this first quarter, the bill will be passed to third reading, and it will be communicated to the President for his assent. And we hope and we have strong feeling and confidence that this time around it will be passed and it will be signed by the President. Then the whole braha within the petroleum industry has come to an end, and Nigeria will move forward and will add what we expect to get from our resources.
So this bill has been proposed to solve all issues surrounding, drilling and refining of oil and the communities and all of that. But my own major concern is the environment. How does this bill deal with, oil spillage, cleaning and compensation to damaged communities, and, restoration of our of those communities, the environment to the right standard that it should be internationally?
You see, there's a whole section dedicated to the development of the host community. And this host community now has been conceptualized in such a way that the host community will have much relevance in the governing of the funds earmarked for the development of those areas. the immediate host communities, not the oil producing states, the immediate host communities. And the funds are coming from the budget of the oil producers, both local companies and international companies, all of them that are operating in a particular community. Certain percentage, about 2.5% of their operating cost, annual budget operating cost, will be dedicated to the development of such community where an oil well
That's not the question.
is
Sir,
being operated.
that's not my question, sir.
And funds, hold on.
Okay.
The funds will be managed by the host communities themselves. A committee will be set off by the host community and the government. But the committee will be led by the host communities. They are the one that will determine what should be done with the funds meant for their community. And in that, we expect that the most immediate cogent problems will be, the funds will be utilized to overcome those immediate problems, such as what you are talking about, the oil degradation, the environmental degradation, usually caused by oil spillage. In the past, this money were concentrated in the NDDC. And even NDDC, the idea is to take care of the problems caused to the oil communities, oil producing areas. But as what this country turned to be, because of corrupt nature of some of us, that money were not being utilized properly. And still there's agitation and complaint by the host communities. That's why this time around, the concept of the host communities is they will have their monies, they will have their, what we can call trustees
Honorable
to
Musa,
utilize their funds.
Honorable Musa, the question was specifically about the spillage that had already taken place within the area.
No.
The oil
Continuous spillage, as long as it's continuous.
Yes.
He has answered it. But I'm wondering, sir, this is a technical matter.
Thank you.
It's not something for novices to handle. Restoring, degraded environment, cleaning up oil spillage across the world is not something for anybody for host communities to handle. I would expect that the section would provide, a collaboration between the oil companies and them, and payment of proper, certified people to restore, to clean up. Handling it to community people will take forever.
Oh, not.
If you can listen to me, if you can listen to me, if you can listen to me, can you hear me?
Yes,
I can hear you.
listening.
I said, if you can listen to me, everything that is supposed to be done for environmental spillage, to overcome it, you need funds. A provision is made for adequate funding to take care of the challenges of the host communities. If the environmental issue is considered to be more important and is going to be a cogent problem within the whole community, the monies that they are going to aggregate from the oil companies is part of infrastructure development. These funds are segmented into provision of infrastructure, employment, and social welfare of the whole entire community. So what I was trying to tell you earlier is, and this bill, don't forget, is still being processed. We have taken and received memorandum from various communities, from civil societies, from journalists like you, from all members of the public. I am sure we have received more than 100 memorandum. We are yet to start analyzing these memorandums, and I believe among those referendums, there are those environmentally concerned associations or group of people that must have brought in the concern of the environment. And before we process it, if anything is captured specifically, there's a need for a provision on environment alone.
Okay. Let me get one question in for you, sir.
Okay, sir, in addition to, since we're already talking about the host communities, we saw what happened the last time they had a meeting, and they were requesting for 10% as against the 2.5% that are being paid. Now, what's your solution to that? Is there going to be an increment for them, for the host communities now?
Agitations.
We can hear you, sir.
Request for 10% or any percent is a legitimate desire of a person or of a community. But remember, in the natural way of living, you must not get everything at one time.
Okay.
If they demand for 10%, and if we as members of the parliament who are processing the bill look at their demand and look at what the government provided, 245%, and consider that 245% to be sufficient enough for now to take care of all the problems that we are trying to overcome, the 2.5% will remain. And don't forget, they have members of their areas within us. It's a lawmaking, it's a federal structure. Every state, every community, is represented adequately, and we engage among ourselves. And at the end of the day, the majority will carry their way.
Okay, sir, we'll take a quick break.
Of course, like I've said, agitations are allowed, but you must not get what you agitated immediately. You agitate for it, and at any time. However, we'll try as much as possible to make sure we bring in what is supposed to be and what can bring peace within the area.
Okay, I'm happy you're focusing on peace.
10% should arise.
All right, I'm happy you're focusing, sir.
They have gotten concerned much more than the previous arrangements.
Okay.
In the previous arrangements, there was no specific amount of money earmarked for host communities.
Okay, so I'm happy that you're focusing on peace. We'll take a quick break. When we return, Mariam would ask you a question. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1 sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
If life were a game where every choice brought you closer to your dream, would you stay where you're unappreciated? Or would you somehow take that first step to changing things for yourself? At ARM Pensions, it's not about who you are, it's about who you play with. Join the team that appreciates you. Switch to ARM Pensions today.
Mommy is ready to receive me a bundle of joy. Mommy is making my home cleaner and safer. We are Dettol Sure.
Illnesses can happen at home too. That's why Dettol and me together will make my baby's home safe and to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs. That's why moms want to be Dettol Sure.
We are Dettol Sure.
For you to tanda for this world, you got know what's up. Sabi waiting day ground, then start to do your own. Get ginger to sabi every. Because when you fit see the different side of the world, anything they possible. BBC News for Pidgin, make your life better.
We congratulate you for progress on your journey. Now, Nigeria's #1 choice of mothers have Molfix Air Dry. Thanks to its ultra absorbency and breathability, Molfix has the dryness all the mothers dream of. So the babies will not experience any rash. Babies are always comfortable. Mothers are too, because they don't need to worry about ventilation. Thanks to Molfix Air Dry, now babies and mothers enjoy the ultimate peace. Come and join the mothers who experience Molfix Air Dry.
Hello, you want 35 packs? Okay, we can deliver them in 3 days. Hello, sir. 75 bags? Yes, Yes, I can deliver. Hello, ma. Yes, ma. Your order for 90 bags has been confirmed.
Need a loan to grow your business? Visit renmoney.com or call 0700 5500 to get a micro business loan today. Need money? Ren Money.
Mommy is ready to receive me a bundle of joy. Mommy is making my home cleaner and safer. We are Dettol Sure.
Illnesses can happen at home too. That's why Dettol and me together will make my baby's home safe and to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs. That's why moms want to be Dettol Sure.
We are Dettol Sure.
This week. On 27 February 2020, Nigeria joined in the battle to contain the ravaging coronavirus. 1 year after, even when it seems the battle has been won, the second wave came with more severe venom, and the world is now shaken like never before. Stay with TVC News this February as we count the cost of the fight and gauge the race for the vaccine. The new strain, testing, lockdown, economy in need of help, enforcement challenges, plight of the frontliners, hospitals under pressure, and dealing with the new normal. Stay with TVC News all through the month of February for special reports and in-depth analysis on TVC News.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath.
All right, thanks for staying with us. So Mariam had a question for Honorable Musa.
Okay, so given, is he on there? Okay, sir. So given the fact that it's taking quite a number of years to get to where we are with the bill right now, and just after the altercation that happened at the public hearing, how confident are you that this bill will be passed this year?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he heard
The
me.
altercations that happened during the public hearing will not and cannot in any way affect the process of the passage of the PIB by the National Assembly. Remember, there was no member of the parliament that was involved in the fracas that happened there. It was among the host community representatives. They come from different communities and different villages representing their interest groups, and they had some misunderstanding among themselves there, or who shall present on behalf of each other, and they could not reconcile. And when they are called open, I think all of them attempted to raise up, and as such, the scuffle started. That will not affect the PIB in any way.
So we're confident it will be passed this year?
That we are confident the PIB will be passed as at when do, like I have said much earlier, the National Assembly leadership and all of us, members of other committees and all the members of National Assembly are committed to passing the petroleum industry bill before the end of the first quarter. And God grace.
Okay.
As I told you, we have completed the public hearing now. What remains for us is to go into analysis of the outcome of the public hearing. That is the memorandum that we have received, both in writing and those that have made presentations during the public hearing. And from that, we'll compile our report, which we will lay before the two chambers. Immediately we resume from the recess. And definitely for April, the PIB passed.
Okay, sir, I'm happy that there seems to be a definite drive towards passing this bill. You're saying hopefully within the first quarter of 2021. I have two questions. One, when was the last time you visited any of the host communities? Mm-hmm. Because as a chairman of the Committee on Petroleum Industry, I would expect that you have on-site real-time value of the impacts of the oil exploration on these communities. So I'd like to know, when was the last time you visited any of this community, number one? And number two, as the chairman, what do you hope to achieve with this bill? What are the things you are envisioning would happen when this bill gets passed?
What we are envisioning,
I'm listening to you, sir. We can hear you.
What we are envisioning with the passage of the petroleum industry bill is, first, there will be transparency in the management of the oil process, of all the resource proceeds. Second, we hope it will also give us chance to increase the volume of our exploration and production of the petroleum resources, both petroleum and gas. Because as of now, there are so many challenges by the oil producers. They are limited by the law. They cannot produce beyond what is allocated to them as of now. And like we have said many times ago, remember the oil relevance in the world is coming to the gradual phasing out because of the renewable energies. So we need to, as quick as possible, to explore whatever we could within the shortest possible time of our resources before it becomes entirely phased out from the energy demand. Of course, there's about 30-40 years that we are hoping the oil will continue to be relevant in the energy sector. But since efforts are being made and good results are being achieved by the energy consumers and energy producers, all energy going to the wind, going to the solar, going to so many other oil options and energy options, then we need to wake up. And don't forget, before now, Nigeria was among the only 4 African countries that were exporting oil from 1970s up to the end of early 2000. But as of today, more than 15 African countries are producing and exporting oil outside the shore of their countries.
Okay, sir, you didn't answer. Sir, you didn't answer the first question. When was the last time you visited any of the host communities?
I'm coming to that.
All right.
Listen to me. So these are all what will indicate to us the challenges we are having in the Niger Delta region by the host communities attacking oil workers, attacking oil installations, all that have reduced what we could have export or produce within a certain on daily basis and on yearly basis. So that's why now, when the bill is being drafted, the authors of the bill consider it wise to come up with a special provision for the host communities. Then, as for my side, as chairman of the Petroleum Upstream, until today, I have not visited any host community because immediately after we were inaugurated in October 2019, we rolled out our program of the visit of all the agencies under the purview of the Petroleum Upstream. That's the NNPC itself, the NPDC, which has more dealings with the host communities. And by December, we sent out this request to the NNPC to make arrangement for us to go and familiarize ourselves with their functions, with their activities, and we expected they would take us to the host communities where oil is being produced. Unfortunately, by December of that year, the COVID-19 came up and the country was shut down, especially the oil industry entirely. They shut down their operations. They limited their operations. Even their staff were allowed passage only after you quarantine for 2 weeks before you are allowed to even visit your office and before you go to your duty post. And they are doing it on shift basis. And we continued waiting. So it is now that we are hoping, first, the ad hoc committee will go and visit some of the oil host communities. Then the committee on the Petroleum Upstream, since now the lockdown is being eased gradually, will also go and on the entire proliferation visit of all the oil installations under the Petroleum Committee on
Thank you, sir. We're running out of time on the show. I want to take in 2 more new questions for you quickly.
So you're planning a scheduled visit. It's okay. But you said something very important, you know, and we know that one of the major clogs in the wheel of exploration is vandalization. How does this bill take care of, you know, securing infrastructure within the communities and, you know, prevention of continuous vandalization of their of oil products?
It is the prohibition of the host committee does not provide only giving them funds. It also gives them responsibility of securing.
Yes.
I said the prohibition, the prohibition which established the host community funding also give responsibility to the host community to secure all the oil installations within their immediate environment.
What will be the failure
so
of the communities? What will be the consequence of failure?
If there are...
Can you hear me, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I am saying the prohibition of the host community does not end only at the funding.
Yes,
when you are being given the fund to take care of your immediate requirements and your immediate demand to develop your area, you are also given challenge of responsibility to secure the oil installations within your domain.
Okay,
so if there's any vandalization of any oil pipeline or any installation in a particular community, that community will be penalized. The funds made for them will
not
be
get
used to go and repair the damages incurred within that environment.
Okay, that sounds nice.
So I just wanted to also ask, every time, of course, you talk about petroleum industry, very big name that is there is NNPC. Given this new bill, what is the role that NNPC will be playing now, given, you know, rumors and allegation of corruption, monies earned, revenues earned that have not been properly remitted to government. So what role will NNPC play right now, and also as regards with refineries?
Yes, what's happening with
the
our
redundant refineries?
Please, we'd like you to answer in like a minute, sir. Are you with us?
Okay.
Sir, did you hear the question, sir?
I have expected this question to come much earlier before now. The first question you should ask me. The NNPC is now going to be a fully commercialized, government-owned company.
Okay.
And it will operate and work like any other company you know in the world.
Okay.
It will be capitalized on behalf of all Nigerians.
Okay.
And it will be managed on behalf of all Nigerians.
And the corruption there?
When it comes now, let me finish. As of now, NNPC is playing dual role. It is a company that produces and manages the assets and resources of this country. At the same time, it acts like a regulator. In this bill, a regulator is going to be established in the form of a commission.
Okay.
Then that regulator will regulate the NNPC and all the oil companies. And all the oil companies, including local and foreign oil companies operating in Nigeria.
Okay.
NNPC will be fully governed and regulated. It will obtain licenses like every other. It will be given certain blocks that it will manage on behalf of the Nigerian government, and it will pay all the dues that are supposed to be paid by anybody who apply and who want to acquire an oil acreage or an oil block.
It was really
so it is expected the NNPC, the new NNPC that's going to be established as NNPC Limited, will be more effective in the management of the resources, and it will be more transparent. And expectedly, the corruption that people are accusing the NNPC of will be reduced, and gradually it will be eased out.
Wow. Okay. I'm looking forward to all of these plans you've said being fully implemented. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We have been talking to Honorable Musa Sarkin Adar, that is the chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream. Thank you so much for your contributions. We hope to bring you back soon, and hopefully we'll be celebrating the passage of this bill finally. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we go into other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.